Testing, testing. Yeah, and it works. Figures. Okay. This is the third time I'm doing this, and it is midnight. I should be in bed, but since it's midnight and I'm not in bed, this is gonna be a sending off type. I will go to bed after this, so we won't keep this video that long. So I have in my hand that I just pulled out of the safe. Hold on a second here. It is clear. It's clear. Trust me on that. Okay. So this is my Palmetto State Armory AKP that I got a couple of, maybe 3 weeks ago, month and a half ago, something like that. So I've already fired maybe 160 rounds through it. It is a rifle caliber. You can see there the magazine port. It is 7.62 by 39. It is a pistol, so shortened barrel with a brace. Some things about it, it's got a creek style muzzle brake. It's got the nice red wood, which I really love. Finish is very good. It's got a 90-degree front sight block there, or gas block. It is a traditionally cycled gun, which meaning that it's a, it's got a gas piston, same as all the other AK-47s out there. Trigger is proprietary, but you could swap out ALG and stuff with it. Very nice gun, strong gun, very loud. I took this to the indoor range, and it startled me how loud it was. And I have other AK-47s, so it's not like I don't know that. I mean, they're generally loud, right? But this one is on a different level, and it was shooting flames as well. But that's a known trait of these guns. So I mean, a lot of people, they want pistols as a self-defense guns. I'm not sure if this pistol is going to be a good self-defense gun. It'll make your ears bleed. I mean, all guns will, but I'm telling you, I don't want to fire this in the house in a self-defense situation. I would much rather fire my 9mm, and I'm pretty sure my AR-15 will be just as loud, right? I don't have a pistol though. I don't have an AR pistol. But so I've reviewed this before. This is something new. It's along the same lines, except this is the Magpul version. So this is a, look at the mag well, and we'll clear it. Check that out. It's got a hold open. A bolt hold open. If you look at the mag well, that's not 7.62, that's 9mm. So this is the AKV. It's got the Magpul furniture. I would have preferred the wood, but these are hard to come by, and if I want wood, I can order wood later on. This will take all or most AKM furniture. Some fitment might be required, but it's not a huge deal. It's got almost the exact same features as that AKP. um, with some extra features such as the bolt hold open here. It's got a flared ejection port, or right at the bolt there. It's flared uh, here as well. I'm not sure if you can see it. You can see a slight flare there. I took this apart early. Oh, as well. Hold on a second. Um, this is very Krebs or AK Master Mount like. It's got the extended controls here. Makes it easier to manipulate. That's something AKP does not have. Takes proprietary mags, of course, but PSA, I mean, these aren't expensive. I think they're something like 19 bucks a piece, but you get them, if you buy 5 or more, the price drops down to like $15.99. So that's not bad. Slides in, there you go. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of tabletops regarding this gun, so I'm gonna try not to regurgitate a lot. So the PSA mag is 35 round. Base plate is a bit soft. So it's got plastic feed lips, but they're reinforced with metal underneath. These are from Manticore. These are Scorpion magazines. So with these magazines, the PSA ones, these are swappable with Scorpions, but these are primarily made for this gun, so they're interchangeable. These are CZ Scorpion mags. This is 33 round. Yes, it's clear. Base plate is not soft. These are made and designed by Manticore Arms, but they're sold by Prepper Gun Store. So if you can see on the bottom, it says PGS USA. Right. The difference between these two, besides the round count, these are 33, this is 35, is that the feed lips on these aren't metal. I mean, aren't plastic. They're all metal, which is really cool. So I got 2 of these. I believe I got them for like 15 bucks. And they slide right in. They're sliding in better now. Before they were very stiff. I don't know if they're breaking in. Plus, I'm trying to rock them in. These slide right in. This is no rocking, just straight in. So the more I use them, the more they'll break in. I might get more later. So I typically use a mag loader to load my mags, even my AKs. I don't have a mag loader for those, and I don't think that the mag loader that I have is going to fit those. So I guess I hand load them, right? What else? So this is standard Magpul furniture. It's got a shielded handguard here. This one's shielded as well. It's got M-lock slots on all of it. It's got a little compartment here. And this brace is a little bit different than my brace on my AKP, but they have the same latching system. They have the same rail. They have the same gas block. Cool thing here is the beveled mag well and this huge ass mag release there. The rivets are all fine on both guns. The paint is better on the AKP. On here it's okay, but on the gas block I see what looks to be overspray. And earlier when I did my first two vids that failed, I was rubbing my finger along this the front of the rear sight, and there's a little nook in there, and there was what I thought was gunk in there, but it was actually metal, not metal flakes, paint flakes. So, which is weird. I don't see any paint flaking off, so I don't know if it's. Hold on a second here. I think I see more paint flaking. Yep. Big ass flake right there. Look. Just so you know, it's not me being picky. But it's like there's overspray because let me put this here. It's not grease. Because I don't see it flaking off here. So I'm pretty sure that there's overspray in here. And you can see there's some overspray on here. It's not gonna, the camera's not gonna pick it up. I'm not sure if it'll pick it up. It's not the most detailed webcam there. Plus I got the bit rate kind of balanced. It's not going to pick it up. But the AKP doesn't look like that at all. It looks very smooth. This is reminiscent of the paint job that I have on my Arsenal, which is, I don't know, for a black Batman-like gun. Everything on that thing is black except for the gas piston. Everything else is black. And maybe the chamber metal, but I mean it doesn't bother me, but it does look like it's rushed and cheaply done. And a lot of people talk about the shitty paint quality of Arsenals. So we're gonna crack this open, even though there's 20 million videos on how to do this and what it looks like. So we're going to do this again. This is the third time tonight. So there's your recoil spring. And we talked about this before. Hold on a second here. Pull this back. If you notice this, and once again, this is talked about on the internet and all the other videos. More paint flakes. There's a buffer, recoil buffer, and then there's a spacer here. The spacer keeps brass from getting behind the hammer and trigger area. That's been problematic. That was problematic upon first release of the product. A lot of people had issues. They fixed it. Some people didn't like the way they fixed it because they considered it a band-aid fix. And also they say that buffers wear out. Well, if buffers wear out, then order another one or get an aftermarket one. The spacer should not wear out. It's not designed to take shock. That's what the buffer is for. So the spacer is there just to keep the brass from getting behind the action or behind the trigger and kind of stopping or fucking with the action, right? So here is the bolt. Bolt is non-traditional. There is no tang. There's the back of the firing pin. There's the face of the bolt. That's where the back of the round is, and that's where the firing pin comes out. You see that little hole right there? There you go. That's better. An extractor claw in there as well. There's an ejector here. This thing is very stiff in both of those, both AKP and this one. And I know it's very stiff. That's what she said, right? Here's the trigger and hammer area there. takes a traditional trigger, so if you want ALG, you can put it in there, or any other aftermarket trigger. There is the front trunnion and chamber area for a 9mm. Sorry that it's so dark, and sorry that my camera's angled really funky. Maybe I get a light and mount it coming this way so that I can have more light here. There you go, that's a lot better. Somewhat, still dark. But anyways, there's a feed ramp there. Not sure if that's going to feed jacketed hollow points all that well. It'll probably feed them better than, I mean, that ramp isn't there on traditional AKs. Not that big, from my understanding. Let's put this back together. Oh yeah, if you notice, that is not a gas piston. Doesn't look like it, but it rides in that there's a, you know where the gas tube normally is? That's not really a gas tube. I mean, it's still there, but it's to hold this piston. This is a counterbalance to this big ass, heavy ass bolt, because it's a blowback operated weapon. So when you put this back together, you got to press the top of the trigger or the hammer, push that in there, and then this is tricky, and of course this is color coded. If you look at it, the tip of that is red. It's probably not to get it mixed up with other springs, but let me put this in my lap. This thing is stiff enough and short enough to where you're not going to get it mixed up with anything else. I don't think they have any other 9mm variant in their lineup, at least for now. So all the rivets look good. They're good. They're not super mushroom. They're not pressing into the stamped metal, stamped receiver. I can't get my fingernails under them. They're not loose. The barrel pin is good. This one was loose, and I've heard people complain that it's loose, it was loose on theirs as well. So it was loose. What I did was I flipped it all the way up until it was sticking up like this, and then I pulled it this way so that when I actuated it back down, it's pressing more against this, sort of like how you do with a loose safety lever. And it tightened it up quite well. The pins on the buffer tube here, so this comes from an AR. They're staked or paint. What else? We'll keep an eye on this one to see if this bolt comes loose. This is something that people have been complaining about coming loose. PSA is aware, and they're now using Rockset to secure that. Thing is, I can't see any white material, so I don't know. I mean, this is a new machine. This is a new pistol, so from my understanding, they've been adding Rockset to that screw for a while now. And from my understanding, they were doing that before I bought the AKP as well. Some people say that they can see the Rockset. I can't see them on mine, but I only have 160 rounds on the AKP, and I haven't fired this one yet. So we will keep an eye on that, and we will. I put some gold ink on that one, drew a line through the bolt and off to the side, but it comes off easily. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to etch something across both of those so that it scratches it that way, no matter how much I clean the gun. Sometimes the solvents, they seem like they're non-volatile, but if they strip off paint, and that's why I try and wear gloves when I clean, because I have bad eczema, and stuff like that. And you know, over time, if all you're doing is you're washing dishes and doing everything, like if you're cleaning your car and you're using gasoline and kerosene to clean your motorcycle chain and stuff like that, and you're not using gloves, over time that stuff gets in your body. It absorbs just like anything else. Um, so you know, for those of you, you know, who do a lot of that, you need to be careful. Um, that's probably why a lot of people, you know, they're getting these ailments and they're sick and they don't know what's wrong with them. It's because all the chemicals in their body. You know, I'm not one of these type of guys who are health freaks, but things like that bug me. And there was a time where I had eczema so bad that my hands were, the skin on the majority of my knuckles were gone. I had weeping sores, and it was because one, um, everything that I do, you know, with my hands, you know, I never wore like gloves or protection and stuff like that. And two, I don't like getting sick. So, you know, when I'm at work, you know, a lot of times we use a lot of shared equipment and things like that, phones, computers, and when you do that and you're not washing your hands, you pick up other people's diseases, you get sick. So I try to prevent, you know, using sick leave and stuff by washing my hands and making sure that I don't contribute or pick up diseases from other people. The con to that is that the more you wash your hands, the more you strip your hands of the natural oils, right? So it's very important if you're a gun owner and you love to clean and you're cleaning all the time and you're using hops and you're using getting all over your hands and stuff. Yeah, you're gonna pay for that later. So you know, a lot of people, they laugh at me on my videos because, why are you wearing gloves? There's a reason why. Yeah, when your hands are so, you know, I guess when you have so much pain because the skin on your knuckles are fragile, because over time you've kind of just killed, I guess, you know, you've killed the skin cells there. So it's very easy for me to kind of start bleeding because the skin is not really thick there anymore, right? So that shit hurts. And I wear gloves and have people tease me online and shit, but um, I can take that over the pain. So one thing that I was looking forward to doing, but I can't do with this one and probably the AKP as well, is I wanted to get a different charging handle. And I know for a majority of what do you call it, AKMs that are more standardized, there is a roll pin that you can use, you can knock out, and you can swap those out. That's not the case with this. So you're stuck with this charging handle. And I do believe that's the case for the AKP as well. One thing I noticed with this gun, so I've got some rounds stored already. You see here, I'm rubbing my finger across it. I can feel nicks and stuff. That's the brass hitting. Well, yeah, I use brass. I don't use steel case. Red Army standard. But anyways, the brass there, or the metal, is dinging this up. I'm okay with that. Regular wear and tear is not bad. Stock is different. I'll have to look at the website to see, or my my invoice to see the difference in the two stocks. Huh. Not sure if this is made to come off. There's a compartment in there. Hear that? Not sure if that's the case for this one. Nope, but it looks like, sounds like it's hollow in there, probably because of the tube. But anyways, well, we're at 24-minute mark, which isn't bad. And we are done for the night, and I will report. The plan is to take this out, and probably both of them, tomorrow and Saturday, maybe even Sunday. Um, I will be using my handy dandy cube, and it's, I guess, my little mount that I usually use to clip onto my hat. It clips onto the bill of my hat like this, and I use that to kind of get footage. I will be using that and hoping to get some good footage. And we are done for the night. You will be hearing back from me within maybe a week if everything goes well. 2, if not 3, if things are bad, because I work a lot. So we're done for tonight, and good night.